All right, y'all. So this 10.2 is matrix. And it deals with matrix operations, actually. Although the main thing that we're going to do is really add matrices together. So I'm going to go to MathLab and show you how to do this problem on there, okay? All righty, y'all. So this problem in 10.2, a produce manager at a market orders 30 pounds of tomatoes. So 30 pounds of tomatoes, 50 pounds of zucchini, and 10 pounds of onions from a local farmer. Now, this is done in 1 week. So, what they want me to do is write a 1 by 3 matrix that represents the amount of each item. Now, remember, the 1 by 3, that means how many rows by columns we got. So, they want me to do one row with 3 columns. Now, you ought to MathLab's picky about this answer, so you got to click in the answer blank, and then when it pulls up the screen down here, you need to go to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the eighth option that has the brackets with the 4 squares in it. That's matrix notation. So you got to click on that matrix notation, and it'll bring up a box that says, well, how many rows do you want and how many columns do you want? Well, we want 1 by 3, so we want one row. So bring that down to a 1. And then on the columns, bring that up to a 3. Notice it makes a one row there with 3 columns in it, or the 3 boxes for my answer. And y'all, what I got to do is write those amounts they gave me. So first I'll put in my 30. Then I'll arrow over to the next box. I'll put in 50 for the zucchini. And then in the last box, I'll put the 10 for the onions. So you can use a matrix to store a list if you want to, okay? So just remember the first column was my tomatoes, second column would be my zucchini, and the third column was my onions. So you put those 3 amounts they're giving you in for your matrix and check your answer. Now, part B, the following week, the produce manager increases his order by 10%. So they want me to write a matrix B that represents that order. So y'all, what I need to do, I'm going to do it by hand first, and then I'll show you how to do this on the calculator. But by hand, we know this is going to be a 1 by 3 matrix again. So I'm going to click the blank, and then I'm going to grab my matrix and do a 1 by 3 again and hit enter. Oh, Rebecca, you done got the answers. Because what I'm going to do is take 30, 50, and 10 and multiply all 3 of them by 1.1. 1.1 is decimal form for 110%. So if you're going to increase an order by 10%, you now have 110%. So I would do 30 times 1.1, which would give me 33. So Rebecca, good job on that. 33 there. 50 times 1.1 would give me 55. Okay. Because 10% of 50 is 5, and then adding that back to 50, you got your 55. And then what you got on the last column, you got my 11. Good job. 10% of 10 is $1. Plus the 10 gives me $11. All right, so you put this is technically matrix B. So I hit enter on that. Now for part C, you're actually going to add them. So to add a matrix, they got to be the same size. They got to have the same number of rows and the same number of columns. And then the elements add to the corresponding elements in the next matrix. So your row 1, column 1 will add to row 1, column 1 in the next matrix. So y'all, let's see, that's going to end up being a 1 by 3 again. So make that a 1 by 3, enter. All right, so let's see, y'all got that added together already? Yeah, 30 and 33 is 63, so that's going to go in the first column. 50 and 55 was 105. And then what you got for the last one? 10 and 11 is 21. All right, so you check that answer real quick. And then they want to know, what does those two matrices being added represent? Well, it was the order for 1 week, and then he went up 10% the next week and made the order. So what y'all think? Y'all read them 4 answers and see what y'all think it is. A, B, C, or D. A says it's the total produce order for 2 weeks. B says it's the change in orders between the 2 weeks. But now remember, the change in the order was just that 10%. But A and B, when you add them, that's just not 10%, right? That's the total. It's not C because it's not the maximum order for 2 weeks. And then let's see, D. Well, it don't even say nothing about no 3rd week coming up. So y'all, technically the one you want on this would be A. It's the 1st week's order, and then you increase the 2nd week, and it's that week's order also. So you would go with A on that one and check your answer. All right, y'all, so let me show you real quick how to do this on a calculator if y'all like doing it with your matrices. All right, so first I want to go to second, x negative 1 to get my matrix. I'm going to go edit and hit enter. So remember, this was a 1 by 3 matrix. And then I had 30 pounds of tomatoes, 50 pounds of zucchini, and 10 pounds of onions. So you put it in just like you did a while ago, 30, 50, and 10, and then quit that screen. Now, they wanted me to increase my order by 10%, so I'm going to multiply 1.10 times that matrix. So I'm going to go back to second, x negative 1, hit enter, because number 1 for A is my 1 by 3 matrix, hit enter. So y'all, when I hit enter now, it's going to multiply my matrix A by 1.10. And there's those 3 amounts that, wasn't it Rebecca that gave me those a while ago? Yeah. So there's that 33, 55, and 11. So now, technically, this is my matrix B. Okay, so I'm going to make that into a matrix B. So I'm going to go back to my matrix, second, x negative 1. I'm going to go down to B this time and go over to edit. Whoops, hang on. Did I not go to B? Okay, I'll go to edit, then go to B. Okay, then enter. All right, so this is going to be a 1 by 3. So 1 by 3, enter. So this one had 33 for the first entry, 55 for the second, and then 11 for the third. So that's technically my matrix B was the 10% more. So I'm gonna quit that screen. So y'all remember a while ago, we just took 30, added to 33, but the calculator can add matrices. So watch this, I'm gonna go get matrix A by hitting enter. I'm gonna hit plus for my adding, and then I'm gonna go get matrix B by hitting second x negative 1, arrow down to B, and hit enter. So a while ago we did it by hand, but on the calculator we should get, what was that, 63, 105, and 21. Now, I ain't gonna lie, that one was not too bad to do by hand, but sometimes you get really big matrices, and that's how you add them. You enter your A and your B, as long as they're the same size, they will be added, okay? So y'all, that's basically what you are going to do on 10.2, okay? So it's not bad. All right, did y'all have a question on that? Oh, yeah, Caleb, you probably got different numbers than me, but it's going to go in the same way, okay?
I uh I tried to do it like because I was it's easier for me to learn to follow along with you. So I've been
Uh-huh.
following along with you and I have submitted B twice on two different problems
Uh-huh.
and it has said that I'm wrong when I'm right both times.
Well, let me see. I'm gonna pull you up real quick. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So you're section 10.2. Because I can actually probably look at it and see what's happening here. Okay, so let me pull yours up real quick. Are you all right with me pulling this up?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So your A was perfect. You put in 20, 30, and 10. Now on your B, when I click on B, do you see what it's showing? It's showing your correct answer and then your answer. Are y'all seeing that? Now, do you see that your answer looks like you used the two pipes on the keyboard? So let me show you on that. And so Ellie, go to your B and click in that blank and delete that answer that you got in there.
It won't let me. There's not a way to edit that.
Oh, have you done guessed how many times you could?
Well, no, it doesn't let me choose if it's a straight line or not.
No, no, what you got to do, click onto that little thing and clear that, and I'll show you what you got to choose.
I'd have to start a hold on.
Because it's sort of what gets y'all on this one is, um,
So is it a different answer choice completely? Is there two different ones?
do what now? I'm going to pull my screen up real quick so I can actually show you what I'm doing. I'm going to hit similar question. All right, are y'all seeing my screen with an A equals right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to click in the blank. Now down here on the bottom, The fourth option with the two bars is absolute value. Go on over until you got the two boxes, the two almost bracket looking things with the four blue boxes in it. If you hover over it, it says matrix actually. So that's the one you got to choose. You're going to click enter, and then that's when you're going to put in your 1 by 3, okay? And then click OK. You see how the brackets got to be on the end instead of the straight bars.
I think I was clicking determinate. Whatever the D word.
Yeah.
That's right next because there's two options next to each other.
Yeah, that one over. Yeah, I'm not saying that, but oh yeah, that's sort of matrix stuff, but we're not worrying about that determinant stuff today. Okay, so yeah, I see when you hit more, it pulls them all up there. So just make sure yours has got them square brackets on it, and then put your answers in there and roll on. Okay. Oh, okay, Caleb. I see what you're saying. Your problem had the right answer, but it was C on it for Walgo instead of okay. Okay, I think I'm catching up now because y'all are actually following with y'all's too sometimes. Okay.
Sometimes it's just easier to learn if you're looking at it.
There you go. Alrighty, so 10-2, not bad. Okay. Um, 3-7. Now 3.7 gets back into systems of equations. So in 3-7, we're going to look at systems of inequalities. And remember, inequalities, less than or equal, greater than or equal. So, here's the thing. If I had something like y greater than or equal to 2x plus 3, there's not just one answer for that. There is infinitely many answers for this problem because it's greater than or equals, okay? When we had equals, we got one answer on most of these, but when it's greater than, depending on what I'm putting in for them x's, them y values, there's infinitely many that'll be greater, okay? So, to represent these answers when we graph, we sort of shade it. And whatever we shade is a solution to the graph, okay? So, let's figure out how to graph them and show the solutions on these. All right, so the steps to graphing the inequalities. The first thing we figure out is what kind of line to draw. Because if the line is solid, that means any point on the line makes the inequality true. If the line is dashed, then it makes the inequality false. So solid lines, those points count. Dashed lines, they don't. So how do I determine what line I'm going to put? If it's greater than or equals or less than or equals. So if it's got equals in it, I'm going to use a solid line. Now MATLAB, by default, MATLAB is on the solid line, okay? So if it's got equals, solid line. If it's greater than or less than, if it does not have an equals under it, then we will use a dashed line. So if you need to graph it with a dashed line in MATLAB, you got to choose the dashed line, okay? So y'all, this tells me what kind of line to draw.
Hey, Mr. Rathfun,
Yeah.
what does the solid line mean again?
So the solid line, if you got equals in it, it means it makes the inequality true because of the equal part. So any point that's on that line will be true for that equation, okay? Now remember, on the dash line, any point on the dash line will make it false because it's actually don't have that equals in it. So it's really just because of the equals that anything on that line is true.
Got you. Thank you.
So now y'all, and you'll see when we're actually starting to play with them, Cordero, okay? Um, Now we got to figure out how to shade, because remember the shaded section will be all the answers. So if it's greater than or equals or greater than. So if it is greater than, I will shade above the line. Okay, so I'm going to look at my line. I'm going to shade above it. And all those answers will be true in my inequality. If it's less than or equals or less than, so anything less than, y'all, is going to shade below the line. Now remember, the shaded region represents the solution to the inequality. All right, y'all, so I'm going to do these by hand and then show you how to do these on MATLAB, okay? Um, Not too bad. Um, in MATLAB, you got to choose what line you want. And then to shade it, we grab the paint can and drag it to the top or bottom of the line, okay? But first we'll do them by hand, and then I'll show you on that computer. So y'all, for this one, I'll start out sort of mellow. We're going to graph y is greater than x minus 3. Now, before I start working this, I want y'all to tell me what kind of line will I draw, and am I going to shade this above or below? So it's going to be a dashed line. Good job, because I don't have the equals in here. So it will be a dashed line. And then we're going to shade it above. What's Carlitha? Got it above. There you go. So I'm going to shade above on it, okay? All right, so this section, we're dealing with straight lines. So you're going to need at least two x values and then get them two y values, okay? All right, I'll pick small numbers so I can keep this sort of down here around 5. Are y'all using 1 and 2? That sounds good. So 1 and 2 will work perfect. So what's my y values if I put a 1 in? 1 minus 3 is what, a negative 2. Good job. And then y'all would put a 2 in. 2 minus 3. And that'd be a negative 1. There you go. All right, so you got 2 points. That's all we need to draw these straight lines. So 1, negative 2. So I go right 1, down 2. And then 2, negative 1. I'm going to go right 2 and down 1. All right, so we got them 2 points. We have a dashed line coming through here. And then, let's see, y'all said shade above. So I'm going to shade anything up here. Now, let me show y'all what I know. I'm going to do some test points and see if we're right. Because remember, the shaded area has to be true in here. And on the line, since it don't have it equals, the stuff on the line will make it false technically, okay? So what's this point right here in the center? Because I'm just choosing me a test point that's right there in the center. So that's 0, 0. So y'all, I'm going to put a 0 in for the x and y and see if that's true. So I'm going to use 0, 0. So that gives me 0 greater than 0 minus 3. Well, y'all, that means 0 greater than 0 minus 3 is negative 3. Is that true? Is 0 greater than negative 3? That's true. So, you see how any point you pick in here will make it true. But y'all, this point on the line, this was 1, negative 2. If you put a 1 in for the x and a negative 2 for the y, negative 2 greater than, oh, where am I at? 1 minus 3 would give you negative 2 greater than negative 2. Well, negative 2 ain't greater than negative 2. Negative 2 equals negative 2. But y'all, we don't have an equals on that. So that's why that dashed line does not represent the solution. Only the shaded area when we don't have an equals under there, okay? All right, y'all, so question on that before I go to math lab real quick. All right, y'all, hang on. Let me pull my math lab up real quick. I timed out on it real quick. So we're on 3, 7. All right, y'all, so I'm not going to worry about their numbers. I'm going to do it with the x minus 3 that I had. They gave me a different problem when I came back on. So I'm just going to graph it with the x minus 3 and show y'all what we get, okay? So I'm click the enlarge graph. Now notice, by default, this is on the line tool over here by the paint can. I need to go down here to the 3 dash line
I'm
and
not
click
seeing
it.
your screen. It's still on the notes.
Oh, okay, let me pull back. All right, so let me start that over. All right, now y'all should be seeing my y greater than x minus 5, but I'm going to do it like I said for x minus 3, okay? All right, you also click the enlarge graph. Like I said over here, y'all see where it's got the paint can right next to it, it's a solid line. I'm going to go right below it and click on the dash line. Now, I want to draw the line tool up here. Second tool on the top for the line. We had 1, negative 2. So I'm going to go right 1 and down 2. and then we had what, 2, and then -1. So there's that line we drew. Now over here, you grab this paint can, click on it, and drag it over, and go to the top of the line and click right there. Once you click, it highlights the shaded region for us, and then you hit save on that, okay? Now I won't check this because we know this will be wrong for my numbers. Because I did y greater than what? X minus 3. So, question on that though. So y'all, it's nothing new. Y'all been graphing all year so far. The only new part is really using the dash line versus solid line and then shading it, okay? All right, so let me write this one down. I'll do this one by hand real quick. X less than -1. Now, y'all notice there's no y variable in this problem at all. So there's no y variable. When you get a graph that's just an x without a y, this makes one of our two special lines. If it's got an x only and a number, this thing will make a vertical line. Okay? Oh, go the other way, Carlita. That's going to be when we do the y values. When you got y equal a number or whatever, those are going to be your horizontals, okay? Now, if you was to make a table for this, guess what every one of these x values has to be? Good job, Caleb. Every x value we pick has to be -1. So every x value must be -1. Because that's what this is really saying. X is equal to -1, y'all. So that means all the x's have to be -1. Now, you can choose any two y values for the table. It don't matter what y'all pick. If that x is -1, that's going to make a vertical line. No matter what, if you're at 0 on that y, 1, 2, 3, no matter where you're at on the y values, if the x is -1, you will get a vertical line. So y'all chat me what two y values do y'all want? So 1 and 2, that sounds good. Well, so this won't be too bad. I'll just go out 5 on this one. Now, this is the only graph today that will not be able to be done on the calculator because the calculator is y equals. We don't have an x equals on the calculator, so we can't graph this one on the calculator. But y'all, it's a vertical line anyway, so it's not even a function, right? Because a vertical line is going to fail the vertical line test. Okay, y'all, so here's what we got. -1, 1. Go left over here to -1. Up 1. And puts me right there. All right, then you gave me -1, 2. So come over to -1 and up 2. And y'all, -1, 0 would have worked. -1, -1. -1, anything would have worked. Oh, y'all, I didn't ask y'all this. Do I want a solid or dashed line?
A dash.
A dash, okay. And sadly, you don't really have a top and bottom on this line. So which way would I shade on the x-axis for less than? Which way is getting less? To the left or to the right? I think y'all are saying this way. Yeah, all these x values are left. Good job. So I would grab my paint can over here and shade that to the left. All right, y'all. So let me show y'all that one on Math Lab real quick. So they gave me -1. I used it because I used their problem, right? There we go. So click to enlarge your graph. We got to make it dashed, so I'm going to click the line tool for dashed. I'm going to go grab the line tool up here to graph it. And I had -1, 1. And then I had -1, 2. All right, y'all, so got my line. And then y'all said shade to the left. So I'm going to grab my paint can and bring it to the left side. Every x value that I shaded will be less than -1. All right, also question on that. It's not too bad. Now in the support, they actually graph the lines, but we don't shade in support, okay? We just got to graph the lines in that class. All right, see, check the answer. There you go. All right, let's try 3. It's going to be the other special line. Okay, Kara, hang on just 1 second. Let me see what this next line is real quick. So this one will be y greater than or equal to -2. All right, Kara, let me bring them notes back up. So this one we was graphing the x less than -1. And y'all, I'll tell you really what I do on those in Math Lab when I see it's just an x or a y. If x is less than -1, I go to -1 on the x-axis, and then just grab me another point and make that thing a vertical line and be done with it, okay? All right, y'all, so let's play with this y greater than -2. So let me ask y'all this. What special line will this one make? So it has no x value, no x variable.
Horizontal.
It's going to be horizontal and it's going to be horizontal. There you go. And then it will be solid because of that greater than, that equals down there, okay? So y'all, here's the thing on this one. I don't care what x values you pick, but every y value will be what?
-2.
-2. So every y value must be -2. And then pick any two x's, okay? All right, y'all, so give me some x values y'all want.
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Hey, I like that because that keeps them small, right? And then where will I shade this one, above or below? Okay, y'all are saying above. So let's see. So we got 1 down to -2. I got 2, -2. So see, it don't matter about them x's. As long as this y value is -2, it's kicking it straight across here. Y'all said it was a solid line while ago. And then y'all said the shade above. So remember, greater than shades above, less than with shade below, okay? So that's greater than, so we come in here and shade above that line. And y'all, we'll do this one on MathLab too. So I think, let me go to MathLab. Click to enlarge our graph. It's solid line. It's already solid line by default. So choose my line tool. And then I had 1, -2. And then right 2 down to -2. So there you go. And then when we shade above, so grab the paint can and click above. All right, on that point, I'm just going to hit save and check. Now, y'all, here's what's nice. You can do the Y one on the calculator. So if y'all ever graph these on your calculator, so I'm going to clear that off. Oh, y'all, so watch this on the calculator. I'm going to do the one I just did, y greater than or equal to -2. Remember, I can't do it for the x's, but I can do it for the y. Now, in place of the greater than or equals, right there, I'm going to put my -2. Now, this is going to graph the -2 to the line we had. Now, if I wanted to shade above or below, I arrow all the way left on the left side of the Y1. You see on the left side it's blinking. I hit enter. And you see how that's changing? You see this triangle right here? Triangle like this shades above. And if I hit enter again, the triangle that's bigger on the bottom will shade below. So I'm going to go back to the shade above. And now that it's saying shade above, when I hit graph, there it goes. It's shaded above that -2. And y'all watch the table. Second graph for the table. Look at all these Y values. Every single Y value is -2. Now, y'all, this is the old school TI-84. Let me show you this on the new TI-84. So I'm going to switch my calculator over. I'm going to go to Y equals, and I'm going to put in that -2. Now watch what's neat about this one. When I arrow all the way to the left, I'm going to hit enter. It lets me shade whatever color I want to. I can shade red, black, magenta, green, orange, brown, navy, light blue, yellow, white, light gray, medium gray, gray, dark gray. You can shade all these colors. Now, if you arrow down on the line, I'm going to arrow right. There's my triangle that's bigger on top. For my greater than, go down to OK, hit enter. Now, when I hit graph, it shades it in blue. So that's what that CE stands for, color enhanced. I think the phone apps that y'all got, if you got that TI Calculate 84 or whatever, I think it'll color it to you, okay? All righty, y'all, question on that one. So X's only, you got a vertical line. If it's Y only, you got a horizontal line, okay? All right, y'all, so the last problem in this section. is going to be graphing a system of inequalities. So for a system of inequalities, they're going to give me two equations, okay? So you're going to graph each equation, or how about graph each inequality and shade accordingly. So if it's above, you'll shade one above. If it's below, you'll shade below. Sometimes they're both above, sometimes they're both below. But shade what you need to for each line, okay? Now, the solution to the system will be the double shaded area. It's where both the shadings overlap each other, okay? So let me show y'all one of these. So we're just going to graph the system, okay? So we had to do all of those first three problems just so we could graph a system, okay? All right, y'all, so I got y greater than or equal to x plus 3. Y less than or equal to 1 minus x. All right, I got two equations. So my solution, like I said, will be where these two shaded regions are overlapping. So to graph each line, I'm going to come up with a table for each one. So the top equation, I'll make a table here for it, and then my bottom equation for this table here. So y'all, here's my first equation. Y greater than or equal to x plus 3. Give me two x values for that. So 1 and 2, okay, I can do that. All right, y'all, let's put a 1 in. 1 plus 3 will give me a 4. And then we'll put a 2 in. 2 plus 3 will give me a 5. So we're going to graph this one real quick. So let me go out about 5. All right, y'all, so I had 1, 4. So right 1, up 4. Then I had 2, 5. So right 2 and up 5. Now, this one just gives you the final picture in MathLab. Look, they just give you 4 pictures. So you don't have to worry about solid line, dashed line, and graphing it, okay? But it would be a solid line, right? Because of the equals. So the first line here, would y'all shade that one above or below? So that was what? Greater than, good job. That's going to shade above. All right, y'all. Graphing this second equation, 1 minus x. Hey, give me two x values. So 0 and -1. Okay, that was first. All right, so if I put a 0 in for the x, 1 minus 0 is 1. Oh, now here, watch this one. If I put a -1 in for the x, I got 1 minus -1. Well, that's going to make that a 1 plus 1, which gives me a 2. So remember, if you subtract a negative, that makes that positive there. All right, y'all, so 0, 1, 0 up 1, -1, 2, over here to -1 and up 2. That line's going to be solid. Now this line, will I shade above or below? So let's see, that was y less than or equal to 1 minus x. All right, Carlithia, y'all saying below? So below would be this section. So y'all notice the solution would be the double shaded region right here. This region's got the orange and the green in it, and it would be my solution. So y'all watch this. MathLab will have the picture on that one. So that one, y'all, I would have choose D, okay? Because D is the only one that's got the left side shaded like mine was, okay? All right, watch this on the calculator. It's pretty nice on your calculator. So let me clear these both off. So y'all, my first equation, x plus 3, x plus 3, arrow left, and it's shaded above. So I'll do blue, and then I'll come down here and make that triangle above, and then okay. Now I'll go to y2 down here, and that one was 1 minus x. Go all the way left. That one was below, so hit enter. They're going to make that in red for me. That sounds good. Go down here, make that the triangle bigger on the bottom. So this one shades below, and then go to OK and enter. Now when I graph it, I'm looking for the double shaded region on the left. You got blue on top, red on bottom, and then both of them on that left side, okay? And then y'all watch this. If I go to second graph to my table, look here, it gives you the x values. For the first graph, you would have -2, 1, -1, 2, and so on. For the second graph, you would have -2, 3, -1, 2, 0, 1, and so on. It does a table for both of the lines you're graphing, okay? All righty, y'all. So not much tonight, I think, altogether. You had one problem in 10.2, and then what was that? 4 problems in 3.7, okay? So let me show y'all real quick. Let me go back here real quick and find something. Um, I just want to see what y'all do to these, okay? All right, so let me go back and share this. I want to share my support page real quick with you. Y'all, support has 2 problems. Let me ask y'all this. Are y'all seeing my number 1 for support 3.7?
Yes.
Y equals -4. What kind of line will that be?
Is it solid since it's equal?
Well, on support, you don't have to worry about solid and dashed because
Oh,
we don't have inequalities. I was just wondering, is it going to be vertical or horizontal? Oh, Ella, I think you got it. You said horizontal. Good job. So y'all watch this in support. You're going to click it. I know that every single Y value has to be -4. So in support, you're just going to click the line tool, come down to -4, plot 2 points anywhere on that -4 for the Y value, okay? So I did 0, -4, and 2, -4. Don't matter as long as the Y value is -4, okay? So save that, and then you want to check the answer. All right, y'all, let's see what number 2. Now, I don't know what y'all remember about slope, but the slope of any horizontal line, oh, Ella, good job, is 0. Good job, y'all. Good. So the slope is 0. Good job. Y'all are quicker than my last class, okay? All right, y'all, let me make these bigger, and I want y'all to choose A, B, C, or D. A, B, C, or D, which one is the answer to x equals 2? So what kind of line will this be? And then what do y'all think? A, B, C, or D? Oh, y'all are popping it out quick. Brandon, I think you got it. It went so quick I can't see who's above you. Caleb got it. Brandon. Yeah, y'all. That's going to be a vertical line crossing 2. So that would be A. Now, I don't even think this one wants the slope. It just, you had to choose which one of those 4 and be done with it, okay? So, y'all, I think between all 3 of these assignments, there's like 7 problems, I think, right? So it ends up sort of mellow, but that way, Thursday night, we're going to knock out 20 questions for that test, okay? So the review has 20 questions on it. The actual test has 20 questions. Same order, it just changes up the numbers a little bit, okay? Now, here's what I do for my reviews. I'd like y'all to do those um, just to get practice for how that test is going to be. But if we work this review together in class and you're in class with me, I will give you 100 on that review quiz. But you got to be in class working it with us, okay? Thursday night. Otherwise, you got to work it on your own, and whatever grade you get, it's going to give you, okay? Now, you can still practice that test on your own, even if we did it in class. It'll take the highest score of all of them, okay? And count that in the grade book. I would just practice because you can do the quiz as many times as you want, but on that test, y'all, you only get one chance. Okay? All right, y'all, let me see what my chat's saying. All right. Yeah, and that's so y'all don't have to do it and then do it all again, you know. So if we're in here doing it together and you feel confident, you'll be able to knock that test out, okay? All right, y'all. So remember them tests are 50, what are they? Tests are 40% of your grade, okay? So once you get a test in, your grades won't move up and down as fast as it does on the homework only. So you'll sort of start getting set in stone a little bit, okay? All righty, so what questions y'all got?